August the 5th, 2024. Guys, we are in a very big problem right now around the world. This is about global recession and how it happened over the weekend. But actually, the last week of the Dow last week, we saw quite a few days where it was struggling. It's been propped up with fake economic reports, fake job listings, everything. And the jobs report that did come in was not U.S. citizens getting those jobs. You understand what I'm saying? Let's read this. It says nearly $2 trillion wiped out from the stock market as fears of global recession sparked panic among investors. Warren Buffett dumped nearly half of Apple's stakes. Now listen, that more than likely dropped Apple quite a bit and holds $277 billion in cash reserve. Now Warren's a very smart man. I'm sure he has assets everywhere, but you're going to feel really stupid, Warren, if the dollar suddenly crashes and you got $277 billion in cash reserve. Now, I'm sure he knows what he's doing, but greed can be that stumbling block of iniquity. Just think about the Bible says, in the end times, that the gold and silver will be thrown into the streets, because it had become that stumbling block of the iniquity. In other words, they weren't focused on God. They weren't focused on helping people around them. They were focused on just making more money. And when you got that much, if you took a hit, Warren, you're going to be in trouble and you're going to feel really stupid. That's enough of that. But guys, this applies on a micro scale. We're talking about a macro scale looking at Warren Buffett, but you and I are in the micro scale. And if the same thing applies, now keep it short. What you should do is look around, because we may be about to drop into the biggest recession we've ever seen on the world. You're going to need food and water. If you've got extra toys laying around that you're not using, that you can turn into assets, or you have a bunch of cash in the bank, you better start thinking about water filtration, food. And we sell that on BPEarthWatch, but that had nothing to do with me starting this video. It's just when I got to the Warren Buffett and the $277 billion in cash, it made me think about it. And we started doing it a couple of years ago, getting rid of everything extra we didn't have to have, turning it into three things: food, water filtration, and protection. You understand what I'm saying? If you got a lot in the bank, and right now, remember, if the banks collapse because of what we're reading right now, your money in the bank is worthless. We now have a new bank bail-in law, not a bail-out the banks. They just take your money on a bail-in, and they'll issue, more than likely, some worthless paper stock. And the banks will continue to collapse past that point if we are in the time that I'm thinking. So you look around, and it doesn't matter where you get it. You better have food, water, and other things. Now get it together. You're going to be sitting around hungry. You got extra boat or motorcycle sitting around out there, something like that, and your kids are hungry, and you've been warned. The first Monday in August has arrived with panic sweeping through the finance sector, as nearly $2 trillion was wiped out of just the S&P 500. Now, you still got the Dow, and you've got the NASDAQ. Investors' anxiety over a looming global recession triggered a sell-off that sent U.S. stock futures plummeting and raised urgent questions about the Biden's administration's economic policies. Biden's economic policy maker quit in shame today. As trading began on August 5th, a staggering $1.93 trillion evaporated from the S&P 500. Did you hear that? Evaporated. That's what the money in the bank's going to do. That's what your 401k is going to do. That's what your credit union is going to do. That's what your Bitcoin that you're not holding is going to do. And let's go back to the Bible just a moment. And no one attack me for saying this. I think I can make it pretty clear. It tells us that in the end times, people will throw their gold and silver into the streets because they realized it was the stumbling block of their iniquity. What does that mean? They were more worried about making money and keeping and stocking up money than they were anything else. Taking time to help other people out, taking time to think about our Father in heaven. And then all of a sudden, this happens. They got all that gold and silver. And let me say this. If we had had this fake fiat currency that we do now, back then, the Bible would have said gold, silver, and your fake paper money. They just didn't have it, okay? They had gold and silver. And so it applies here just with the new standards, and it applies to Bitcoin more than anything, because just not only will it collapse, but if you have some power outages, because we're about to go into World War III, anything on the computer is useless. It's worthless. And some people say, well, no, they get the power back on, and as soon as the computers pop back up, I've seen an economist say these exact words, then it'll all come back up, and you'll find your Bitcoin purse or whatever it is, right? It's sad when people don't realize the times we're in. And if you investors are saying this to these people, you don't understand, because you think Putin and China's just going to back away. You think the demons running the NATO and other nations are going to back away when their main thing now is to push this conflict. Again, its trading began on the 5th. 193 evaporated from the S&P. S&P futures fell more than 4.4%, while Dow futures were down 3%, translating to a loss of 1,212 points. The NASDAQ 100 futures fared even worse, plummeting over 5.2%. They're also saying we have never been down 1,000 points. This is on the NASDAQ, guys. You know, the Dow is usually the highest number up or down, but the NASDAQ in the last few years have been trying to keep up. But 1,054. They're calling it the K crash right here. That word is very dangerous on YouTube now, so it's a K crash. Again, that economic policymaker is gone. And that's just how the demons operate. They tell them what they want to happen, and then they cut them in the throat as soon as someone gets caught. Throw them under the bus. Perfect. This says Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway has $234.6 billion worth of short-term investments in U.S. Treasury bills. The massive conglomerate's second quarter earnings reported Saturday showed he's always been a fan of U.S. Treasury bills, also known as T-bills. At the annual Berkshire Conference back in May, the 93-year-old investor called them the safest investment there is. Last week I did a video, guys, telling you about these Treasury bills. The 10 and the 2-year, 10-year, 30-year notes, how they were collapsing. It's on. And everybody right now, this is one of the most important warnings I can give to people in our areas, in the U.S. or anywhere in the world, because it is happening around the world. You better prepare now, and you need to do it quickly. They're saying Buffett and Berkshire now own 4% of all the Treasury bills issued to the public. Buffett has $277 billion worth of those, and the Fed has $195 billion. Warren Buffett is now the larger holder of the U.S. Treasury bills, has more than the Federal Reserve. Think about that. These T-bills, man, they're sold all over the country. And in the video I talked about last week, it's like Warren said, it's a very safe place, right? But there's no safe place right now. There's no safe place. The T-bills and all, they've been sold out to other countries as basically to supply our debt. Now they're cashing those things in left and right. I don't know what's going to happen, but I know one thing: you better be ready for this. Link to this article. It's on Gateway Pundit. You can find it. But they're asking the question: is he getting ready for a crash? I think he is, but again, maybe he can afford to lose $277 billion in T-bills. I don't know. He's got a lot of things going on for him. I'm sure he'll never go hungry a day in his life. You and I don't have that option, guys. So just get ready, be prepared. Like I said, I want to show you a couple of things real quick. Most of you guys are familiar with our website, BPEarthWatch.com. A lot of you, maybe new guys, have not seen it yet. But we kind of went through several things in the last dozen years, and that was trying to find out what products, if you were going to be a marketer on your website, would be valuable to the people that watch you. And other than my music, which you can get here, This is the Alexa Pure. They've got $80 off of it. It's $199 now, and it comes with one filter, and it will filter thousands of gallons of water. You can put 3 in it. You can buy additional filters. But this is the cleanest water you can get no matter what. I don't even drink the bottled water anymore, guys, because you can taste the difference in this. We use it in coffee, tea, everything you ice, everything you use water in. You got that there. Check it out. It's $80 off. Comes with one filter. You can get more. But right now, protect yourself with these disaster-ready meals. I just want to click here and show you something. I'm going to take you to the page, and if it doesn't, just click on emergency survival food right there at the top, and you got 25-year storage. And they've got a deal going on, guys, that you should take advantage of now. A lot of you have. And the one thing about it is their financing that can really help you out. But you can get a 3-month supply, $4.97. It's 2,000 calories a day. You get these big 5-gallon buckets. With it's all sealed in Mylar. Again, if you don't need it now, if nothing happens, it's 25 years worth of food there, as far as saving it. You can go up to a mega 3-month at $800. It's got 2,500 calories a day. Adds a few more things in here, a couple more buckets. Then 6-month at $12.94, and you've got mega 6-month. It adds a few things. I'm just pointing this out. I know money's tight. You can get this is a 1-year supply. Then you've got the 1-year plus, and you can get just buckets that are individually set up with fruit, veggie, snack mix for $97, and you've got the mega protein kit with real meat, 72 servings, 1 bucket, on and on. And it's expensive no matter what you do with it. But let's just click on this one right here for a moment. Now that will bring you to the 3-month supply. You can go down through the list and look at everything that it has, everything that's in it, how many calories, nutrition, things like that. But right here, it's $200 off, by the way, but it says just 5 easy payments of $99.40 a month on your credit card. Learn more. And it's not a hard application at all. You do have to have a credit card, but you can do that with the bigger kits, guys. And just think about it. You go sell a boat for a couple thousand, or a motorcycle, and then you've got a year supply worth of food sitting there with a 25-year shelf life. Think about it. But guys, we're going to check on the power in Florida after this update. I'll bring you some more information as it comes in. But this is very important. And I'm going to end it with a quick look at the stock market. Quickly, again, it says it drops 800 points, but it's actually down 917 on the Dow, 143 on the S&P, and the NASDAQ is 549 down. The Russell 2K down 53.4. It's interesting because they're starting to realize that the American consumer is broke. You understand what I'm saying? And so they are in a panic. But it's all part of a deeper plan when you see all the worldwide banks in trouble. Look at this right here. It's a pro article. You can't read it unless you subscribe. But Bitcoin's shellacking during the global market's decline calls into question safe haven theory again. Same thing with gold and silver. Now, let me say that about gold and silver. If you have some coins or something you got from your father, whatever, then you can now, if you wait to the last minute, you're going to realize you're in that biblical moment of, oh, crap, nobody's going to take this. They need bread and food and water. And let me say this. I called a fellow up in Jackson, Mississippi that has a gold coin, silver store. They buy and sell coins and all of that, right? And I asked him, I said, what are you paying for an ounce of gold? Because your Bitcoins, you got an ounce of not gold, an ounce of silver in some of those big silver dollars, the old ones. And he was saying, he gave me the price. It was, I think $27 or $28 what it was. I said, well, what happens at the last minute if people are panicking and they run in here with all of this? Are you going to have enough money to buy it? He says, when that hits the fan like that, he says, I wouldn't give you a loaf of bread for a basket full of gold. This guy's been up there doing this for years and years and years. And honestly, can you blame him? It's not just him. I challenge you, if you're trying to do this and you have enough to where it really matters. I've got a couple of coins and it really going to matter to me. That's not where I've invested in. That's just something that I've had for a long time. But guys, you don't want to be caught in that moment. In other words, here I've got all of this, or I've got this paper, this Bitcoin paper, saying that I've got gold or silver somewhere else, not in my hands. Then by the time you get it, it may be too late if you get it. And I'm not putting anybody down for anything. But when it hits that moment, just like this gold dealer and coin dealer up there told me, I wouldn't give you a loaf of bread for a basket full of that gold or silver. But we're watching it, guys. Just pay attention to what I'm saying. It's a heads up. Be safe.